Rarely is it effective to talk to a partner about a behavior that they're using in the moment. Because if they are doing something that is not loving, right? They're nuts. So if you're going to point it out to them, you're trying to talk to a drunk. It rarely works. Now, with practice, with enough practice, so that the both of you know that you love each other, then Donna can go, psst, which I think is nicer than then I know what that means, and I'm just thrilled with it, really. But you need practice with that. And so you go, I'll be back in a minute. Or you just let the behavior burn out. It will. If you don't respond to it, people burn out fast. They just quit. Then you go away, and then the next day you bring it up. But if your partner did that just once out of 10 times, shut up. It's not worth it. If they do it 2 or 3 times in a row, or it's a pattern, then you really do have to talk about it. Not just for you. In fact, if it is for you, it's not going to come across well. You say, so here's an example of some verbiage. You can do it in whatever way you want to, but my tone matters a lot. Well, actually, everything. So, make up a name, Oliver. Oliver, the last several times that you have played video games and I've tried to talk to you, you just weren't there, which I get. They're mesmerizing. They involve all your senses and your brain and everything. I get it. We had an agreement that if you were playing video games other than in a prescribed time that we talked about, like I know you're going to play them from 2 to 3. I know that. So if it's 3:30, we'd agreed that you would just stop the game, pause, be killed, whatever the game is, lose the level. And I've just noticed that when you're doing that, there's a lack of connection with us, and you don't look as happy either. Just saying.
So, like, if it's something that does need to be corrected in the moment, you still.
Oh yeah, if it really does, like, for example, I tend to do way more dangerous things with my grandchildren than my children do. It's odd that my children don't remember I did exactly the same thing with them. But hey, they're their kids. So I'll be swinging a kid, who's 6 months old in the tire swing, and my son will come out and go, ah! He gets to do that. That's something that needs to be corrected in the moment by his standards. And since it's his kid, he gets to say that. So over time, I've actually learned to ask them. Or I say to the grandkids, I tell them, now secrets are bad except for... You talk about it beforehand, then if he keeps doing it, you talk about it later, like the next day. Then if he keeps doing it, okay, this ain't working. So the bottom line is, if it ain't working, I don't mean once, like several, if it ain't working, okay, then we need to come up with something. So, Oliver, it's not working. I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying it's not working. So, I have a claw hammer, whatever. A sound, you reach over and hit pause. Really, whatever. Donna will come into the room, she doesn't do this very often, but she'll come into the room, reach over, and just go, pause. What is there that I'm watching that really has to finish? Nothing. I must admit I like the whole pause thing. Then she tells me what she needs to say, and she might hit play or not. That's up to me. But she will hit pause. You have to kind of agree to that, which I didn't, but I adjusted to. Make sense? Whatever. You keep going and you do what works. Darn it. As opposed to being irritated at each other, which, have you ever seen that work? It doesn't work for me. I've never seen it work for anybody, so it's just an idea. Don't.